This is the OTP. I'm Amie Wells. Thank you for joining us. The Titans are getting ready to take on the Arizona Cardinals, so we had to bring in Taylor Zarzour, of course.
What's up, Aim?
Who else are you going to bring in except for the guy who is going to be broadcasting the game on Sundays?
In the house that Coach Mack built.
In the house that Coach Mack built, yes. And we would have had Mack on the show too, but he is too busy for us right now. He's doing every radio show.
He is.
In, the Southwest. I mean, it's not just Arizona.
Yeah.
He's all over the place. So Mack is too big time for us here on the OTP.
He is. His phone rings very loudly, and he's got it. And I just watched practice with him, and it rang about 20 times.
Yeah.
During practice.
He is the most popular man in America right now, and rightly so. I mean, the man was head coach there for 3 years, so he deserves to be celebrated when he returns. He spent a lot of time in Phoenix, but he's too busy for us, so we will talk about him, not with him.
Awesome.
That's
Let's
okay.
do it.
We don't need that guy anyway. We are just fine. There's a lot to talk about, and so I just have kind of a running list of stuff that I figured here on the OTP we can just cover things that are going on. It's pretty casual. This is an informal podcast today, folks.
I love informal.
Yeah, I thought you might enjoy this. This feels very much like the Amie TZ vibe.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, for starters, Tyjae Spears. We have seen him at practice. He has been on injured reserve for a long time. He went on IR after getting injured in Tampa Bay during the preseason. So it's been a long time that he has been struggling with this injury. It was like an ankle, and he is now back on the practice field. His return to play window is open. Now, there are no promises about what that means in terms of when he will return, but TZ, that's huge, right?
I like this very much.
Yeah.
He had a high ankle sprain very early in game one of the preseason against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had a terrific training camp up into that point, and he looked like the best version of himself going into year three. If you go back 2 years ago to how he spelled Derrick Henry as a rookie, everyone got real excited about him, and deservedly so. You go back to last year and the 1-2 punch of Pollard and Spears. I know that a lot of Titans fans were like, gosh, this is hard to get used to life without Derrick Henry. And there were a lot of things that needed to clean up with the 2024 Tennessee Titans. The backfield really wasn't one of them. Sure, it wasn't Hall of Fame level Derrick Henry, but it was really good with the two of them, Pollard and Spears together. And you put the two of them together playing 60 minutes of football, and you get to spell Tony Pollard instead of him basically being your exclusive running back. You get to spell Tony, who I think is still a top-shelf NFL running back, with Tyjae Spears. You have a heck of a 1-2 punch, like top 5 1-2 punches in the league, in my opinion. And so if you can't tell, I am really excited about having him back. Those high ankles are no joke. They take 4 to 8 weeks to get right, and we're about 8 weeks removed from that injury right now. So I am really excited about seeing number 2 for your Tennessee Titans play football very soon.
You mentioned spelling Tony Pollard, and when we talk about running attempts so far this season, Tony Pollard has had 68 attempts. The next highest number of rushing attempts, Cam Ward with 9. Chimere Dike has had 6. Julius Chestnut has had 5.
Crazy.
That's a massive load to put on a single person.
Yeah, and so number 2 and number 3 on that list that you just mentioned are not running backs.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Cam is a quarterback, and those are not designed runs. Those are
that is running fast run.
I'm escaping the pressure, trying to make something out of nothing. Chim Dike, those are sweeps. Those are designed runs, but those are lining up at receiver, coming in motion runs. Just lining up and traditionally handing the ball to the running back. You're right. Pollard 68, and the next running back, Julius Chestnut, with 5. In an ideal world, Amie, you would have Tony Pollard who had 14 carries last week. That's a good number. You would want him to be, somewhere around 20 touches a game, running and catching, and you would want Tyjae Spears to have 10 or 15 touches a game. So you put those two together, that's a lot of productivity. And honestly, I think that's the best recipe for a Titans victory right now is leaning on those two guys. So I'll be excited to see both of them in the backfield together very soon.
Yeah, and whenever Tyjae Spears returns to the backfield, there's also the freshness aspect of it, which I think is really valuable, especially for a team that's in the midst of a little bit of frustration. Someone with fresh legs who doesn't have the bumps and bruises that come with a football season, but also the fresh perspective of being excited to be out on the field, of being excited to be really back in the fold. Mm-hmm. It's exhausting playing football just as a sport. It's tough on you mentally, it's tough on you physically. Couple that with some frustrating games where you feel like if just one or two things had gone a different direction, that you'd be in a completely different spot. Having somebody who has still been with it, I mean, Tyjae Spears has never left this team at all. He has still been in meetings. He's always been at practice. He's working out here at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, and he's been traveling with the team. So Tyjae Spears has been around, but he hasn't been in it the same way, living it day in and day out the same way that the rest of this team has, with the highs and the lows that come with a football season. So having somebody who's really jumping back in, excited to be back, has worked so hard to be back, and Tyjae Spears is just kind of that infusion of freshness. He's just a happy person who told me in training camp before all of this happened that he spent the offseason being very intentional about his mindset and intentional about the way that he is approaching the game and how grateful he is to just be able to be a part of this. So somebody with that mindset, with that freshness, and then having healthy legs and who's not hurt yet, that's a pretty good combination to be infusing into this team weeks before they even hit the bye week, where the whole team can kind of take a rest.
Yeah, that's important that you mention all of that. The only thing I would include is that he's also one of the more talented running backs in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, Andy's good at his job.
Right. So you're right about all the health and the freshness and the attitude, and all that's true. But also, this guy's really talented and quick. I think I don't know that he'll do this immediately, but eventually you could also use him in special teams. Chim Dike is doing all of that right now. Before Spears was injured in that Tampa game, he was going to be on kickoffs. At some point this season, you could see him doing that too. So, yeah, he's a super talented guy. I think as the Titans fans get to know me, they'll know that I like to put titles on people. We all know that Coach Mack is the head coach of Titans Radio.
Right.
We all know that, well, I don't know if everybody knows this, but around the building, they're getting to know this. You are the president of everything, Amie Wells, which I really like you being in charge, by the way. Another person who has a title is the chief of staff of Titans Radio, Rhett Bryant. Mm-hmm. And I would be willing to say that Rhett Bryant's very favorite Titan is Tyjae Spears.
His T-shirt.
He loves Tyjae Spears. So we get Rhett Bryant to get all fired up about number 2 coming back to the field here soon.
Yep. It's all exciting. It's exciting all the way around, and I'm excited to watch as Tyjae continues through this return to play period, and hopefully he's back on the field sooner rather than later. When you bring Hellman's Creamy Buffalo Chicken Dip to the watch party, you can cheer too loud, or block the TV, or be a couch coach, and no one will eject you from the game. That's a Hail Mayo. Hellman's, the official mayo of the Tennessee Titans. This summer, SeatGeek has your ticket to the best live concerts in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. SeatGeek makes it easy to catch world-conquering tours and high-wattage performances from your favorite artists all summer long. SeatGeek has the best seat, your seat, for an unforgettable summer. From rock royalty to rap superstars, R&B to country, find it all on SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Nissan Stadium. It's your summer. Make it count. SeatGeek. Hey Titans fans, with a Kroger Boost membership, you'll score big with double fuel points, free delivery, and lots more. Go to Kroger.com/boost for details. Kroger, the official grocer of the Tennessee Titans. Tighten up. Now back to the OTP. Another person that I have just had so much fun watching is number 98. Big Jeff.
My goodness.
He is just playing lights out. I think some of his best football ever. And his sack that was 2.09 seconds from snap to C.J. Stroud on the ground was just magnificent.
Yes, it was magnificent, and we talked about it on the TV show with Brian Callahan. It did help that the right guard for the Texans went in the wrong way and ran into the right tackle. Having said that,
he still would have got there.
If the right guard went the correct way, it would not have mattered. Jeff just about took the snap, and it was one of the more shocking calls I've ever made in a broadcast where I was just he almost took the snap.
You did sound rather not perplexed, but like shocked.
Yeah,
that he was there so quickly.
It's not supposed to happen that quickly. The defensive lineman is not supposed to have a chance to take the ball from the center.
It was like
the center is snapping.
That's Jeff.
The center is snapping it to the quarterback, not to the defensive lineman, but he just about did. But this isn't an opinion, Amy. It is a fact. Jeffery Simmons is playing the best football of his career in year 7. And this is a guy that's gone to the Pro Bowl 3 times. And it wasn't just last week. He's had a really good start to the season. Last week was his best game. He had 4 tackles for loss in that game. Do you know that's the most tackles for loss for a defensive lineman for a Tennessee Titan in 17 years?
I believe it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And he is a wrecker. And look, everyone is disappointed by the lack of success the Titans had in this last game, not being able to score any points. But really, if you look at how close that game was going into the fourth quarter, it's a 1-score game. It's 6-0. We did miss a couple of field goals in the game. The reason why the Houston Texans had 6 points going into the fourth quarter, not exclusively, but in large part is due to number 98. He's having an incredible start to the season. I read something on ESPN.com this week by Bill Barnwell, who, is really, really loves the NFL, by the way.
Yeah.
And the title of his piece was Why Jeffery Simmons Could Be the NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
Wow.
And that is incredible, given that the team is 0-4, has not had the start we wanted, has been incredibly competitive in the first 4 weeks and had a chance in all the games, but they haven't cashed in. And there's a lot of disappointment that comes with that, obviously. The fact that this guy is playing at his highest level and across the league playing at such a high level just speaks volumes. It really does. And this guy is such a great teammate, too. He's one of the captains of the team. He plays with a lot of passion. And any Titans fan knows that Jeff isn't afraid to mix it up. But you can see, and I know you have really seen this, you can see the maturity that Jeff has had in the last few years. And Jeff really sees himself not only as one of the most talented Titans, but also as one of the most important players as a leader. And you're really witnessing it on the practice field and on game day right now.
I remember when Jeffery Simmons was drafted, one of the first things that he ever did as a Titan before he even came to the building, he went to a luncheon that was being held at the Country Music Hall of Fame. And he was a surprise guest. We kind of had some time, and so we took him by there on the way to the facility, coming off of the plane. And he stood up in front of a room full of people and got very emotional and said, I am going to make you proud of the Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
And I have never seen a human being take a promise like that so seriously. He is 7 years later still making good on that promise. And just to watch him grow up here, to watch him be a part of this organization year after year, through the good, through the bad, through the eras of defensive players that have come through this building. I mean, from Jarrell Casey to Kevin Byard to Jeffery Simmons, there have always been these big, larger-than-life contributors on the Titans' defense, and he's one of them. And to just watch him be a part of that has just been so cool. And to see the way that year over year he has a different kind of emphasis. obviously it's always getting better as a football player, but we've seen him want to learn how to be a leader and step into leadership roles, especially after Jarrell Casey left and after Kevin Byard left, and he realized, like, oh, I'm one of the old guys now. And that transition from, like, young kid trying to learn to what he is now, we watched him. I mean, everybody forgets Jeffery Simmons had a torn ACL when we drafted him. Like, he came in injured and started playing weeks earlier than he was expected to because he's Jeffery Simmons. Like, that's what he does. But we watched him go through that whole process and come back from injury. Now we watched him this offseason completely revamp his body for no reason other than he thought it might make him a better football player. Like, he didn't need to do that. Yeah.
And it has.
I mean, the guy was a Pro Bowler, and he said, you know what? I could probably get a little bit faster, which we are seeing, and I could get a little bit, like, leaner and meaner if I dropped a couple pounds. And he did, and it's working.
Yeah, he is playing like Aaron Donald played for the Los Angeles Rams, like Myles Garrett plays for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, he truly has become a first-team defensive lineman in the National Football League, and it's a privilege to watch. And more than that, though, what I love most about him is how much he wants to win. As much as he appreciates his play and wants to be a great player in this league, he wants to be a winner in this league. And that really means something to him. And as you're creating a culture of winning, which is what the Tennessee Titans are doing right now, you need people like that are older to impart their wisdom that really care on the young guys. And he's doing that. One thing that I've noticed in every practice, and as you and I are sitting here right now, I am minutes removed from the most recent padded practice the Tennessee Titans had. And number 98 spends 20-plus minutes per practice with rookie number 7, Oluwafemi Oladejo, and constantly is in his ear on how he can get Femi better. That's what I love most. And Mike Borgonzi, the general manager, is feet away from it, and he is so fulfilled by watching that, because that is how you turn things around. Is when number 7, Femi Oladejo, takes over this team in the years to come, it'll be because of what number 98 Jeffery Simmons did to help him. That's how you turn things. And so those are the sort of things I love watching, Amie, and I can't wait for this thing to turn, and Jeffery Simmons will be a big reason for it.
Home is at the forefront of all we do. It's why we're so committed to caring for the places and spaces in which we work and live. Ashley, the official furniture provider of the Tennessee Titans. Genesis is the first and only official jeweler of the Titans, having earned that title since 2006. Titans players, coaches, and fans trust Genesis for the absolute best in selection, quality, customer service, and of course, value. For diamonds, engagement rings, designer fashion jewelry, and the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in Tennessee, Genesis is the hands-down winner. Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Cool Springs, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans. All right, we talked offense, we talked defense. You want to take a cookie break before we switch on over to the Arizona Cardinals?
Do I get to?
Yeah, you can open the thing if you want to. We're going to take a cookie break because Christie Cookie sends us cookies, and we like to take some time to, digest everything that's going on and also digest a sweet treat. So these are sugar cookies sent to us by Christie Cookie. They are quite tasty. We may be missing a few cookies because our staff got to them before we got in here to shoot.
I watched Jack Mummert eating them.
Well, see, there you go. So our
Daryl Hughes.
Our cookies have been pillaged. Our cookie break secret is out. But thank you to Christie Cookie for sending us these cookies. We do love them. And if you too would like to have a cookie break, just wherever you are, ChristieCookie.com, you can get a custom holiday tin.
Man.
And they come in a variety of sizes. You can give them to your boss, give them to your friends, give them to your mom. Don't tell your coworkers where you keep it, though, because your cookies will disappear. Much like ours have. Ooh, that's good.
Really good.
Yeah. Also, there are lots of Christie cookies in, hotels and restaurants and different things. You can get them all over the country. Do you know that?
I did not know that.
There you
but I will tell you, I really appreciate the Christie cookie break.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. It's delicious.
It is now time for the Little Caesars Real Deal matchup of the game with our very own Keith Bulluck.
Here's the deal. The matchup I'm looking forward to seeing is Tyjae Sneed versus Marvin Harrison Jr. Tyjae Sneed has been very solid in coverage this year with a few laps here and there, but other than that, he's been right on his guy's hip. Marvin Harrison Jr., the first-round pick of last year for the Arizona Cardinals, hasn't really been playing up to par. He had a big second half last week. Let's see if Tyjae Sneed keeps him in check or if Marvin Harrison is able to continue his streak of catches.
Titans fans, get 15% off your Little Caesars order of $15 or more at participating stores using Titans code, or using the code, I should say, Titans15. That is TITANS15 at checkout. TZ's writing it down. Excludes taxes and other fees. Pizza.
You know, I love the sponsor breaks.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, like on The Tonight Show, when Johnny Carson was hosting, they would do similar types of breaks in the actual bed of the show. They would do this. And I thought that was always such good product placement. And a lot of great podcasts these days, you'll hear them talking about that. But I think sampling the sponsors makes it go to the next level.
Taylor, let me tell you something about me. When we started this podcast, however many years ago, it's been a long time now, we were talking about sponsors. And wouldn't people be interested in this podcast, you know, from a business standpoint especially, if it had some sponsors? Because that's how, you know, things get off the ground. And so I made one rule, and it was food sponsor.
I love it.
And over the years, we have had just that. Because if there's one thing that I'm willing to do, it's show up for a food sponsor.
Same.
Just however I can, you know? And I love everybody who has ever been a part of the OTP. Really, truly, we've had so many great partners over the years, and they have always been so delightful and so kind. But the ones with food, those are the ones that I really love and appreciate the most.
You have any milk? I'm just kidding.
I know. I wish I did, right? Eighth and Roast has coffee.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, who are also great sponsors. Maybe we should ask them to just send some milk.
That'd be really cool.
Okay.
Gosh, I love Christie cookies, though.
Yep.
That really hit the spot.
There you go.
Okay, what do you want to talk about now?
This is how I get people to do the OTP with me.
Yes.
Cookies.
I'll come back every week.
I know you will. I love it. Okay, let's talk about Arizona a little bit because the Cardinals are 2-2 right now. They have had some frustrating losses.
Oh, heartbreaking.
Yeah. In very, very close games. They've lost by 1 point and by 3 points. And that 3-point loss to the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football, killer.
Yeah, both of them were killer losses, but you're right, this last week hurt worse. They're beating the San Francisco 49ers 2 weeks ago, and they lost on a 35-yard field goal. I mean, it always stinks to lose on the last play, but it was a 35-yard field goal. When somebody's coming out to kick a 35-yard field goal, you pretty much know they're about to win the game.
Right.
And they lost at the gun to fall to 2-1. And then so they fly back from San Francisco. They go back home to the house that Coach Mack built in Glendale. They wheel in the grass. They play the Seattle Seahawks. And they are getting soundly beaten by the Seahawks for 2+ quarters. And they have this huge comeback, tie the game at 20 just before Seattle kicks a walk-off 52-yard field goal to win the game. So that one really hurt. I'll say this. You know, there's a lot of talk in Nashville right now about how the Titans are developing a team. Coach Callahan is talking a lot about putting 4 quarters together, finishing a game. Arizona's going through that, Amie. And in week 1, they were putting a whooping on the New Orleans Saints, and they didn't finish the game. They won, but they didn't finish the game. In week 2, they are crushing the Carolina Panthers, and the Panthers had a crazy comeback at the end of that game, and the Cardinals barely escaped with a victory. Each week, even against San Francisco, again, they didn't play 4 quarters. It was sort of stops and starts. They had this big comeback this last week. You haven't seen Arizona put a full game together yet. I think part of that is because of injury. They've had a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the secondary. A few injuries to their defensive line. Their offensive line, I'm not really sure that they're playing their best football. Now they have some issues in the running game.
A lot of issues in the running game. Holy smokes.
James Conner, who's a great running back, is injured. Trey Benson, who was the next man up, he's now injured. So they're really down to number 3, number 4, and number 5 on their depth chart when it comes to the running game. So that'll be interesting to watch. Having said all of that, getting their quarterback on the ground is infuriating. This guy, it's like trying to chase a child in your house. It really is. Like, I mean that with all deuce and I mean that as a compliment. Like, you can't get this guy on. You can't get him.
I've got 2 toddlers. I
Right.
get it, man.
You just can't get him. And he's on the smaller side. He's
is.
chasing this little guy around and trying to get him on the ground is infuriating, and he'll do a lot of that. He has over 20,000 career passing yards, over 3,000 career rushing yards. That's rarefied air. He's a true dual threat in the backfield in Kyler Murray.
He already has 742 passing yards this season, 6 of those resulting in touchdowns, 3 interceptions, though, 148 rushing yards this season. I mean, the guy's been sacked 13 times, which is a lot.
Yes.
But he's also pulling himself out of the pocket a lot.
Yep.
So it's just, he is a hard one. He's always a difficult guy to play. He's mobile, like Bo Nix is mobile, though. So the Titans have seen something similar to that already this year. You've got to assume that that's going to be a little bit of a help, right?
Yeah, I think so. You want, not so dissimilar to Bo, you want to keep this guy between the tackles. So there's some guys you want to pressure them and you allow them to run and around and you try to get him out of the pocket. This guy you want to keep in the pocket. And we did. We talked to Coach Callahan about this on his TV show and on his radio show earlier this week, is you want to keep him between those tackles. And Jeffery Simmons hopefully is going to be wreaking havoc on Kyler Murray. Another guy to watch in this game, Amy, is Trey McBride, their tight end. He's become one of the better tight ends in the National Football League. He's caught over 200 passes his first 3 years in the league. And he's shattered all sorts of franchise records for catches by tight ends. He's Murray's favorite target. So look for him to be a huge part of this game. Marvin Harrison was the 4th pick in the draft. This is Marvin Harrison Jr., not Marvin Harrison Sr. There's a lot put on this guy because of what his name is, and because he has a great career at Ohio State in college. Still think they're waiting out there to see if this guy deserved to be the 4th pick in the draft. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that. But, this is – I really believe this. This is a winnable game. It really is. I think that with the way the Titans are playing on defense, with how strong Jeffery Simmons is right now, with some hopefully some help coming on offense, I think this is a winnable game for the Tennessee Titans.
Absolutely. There's a lot to watch in this upcoming matchup, and we'll have it all for you on Titans Radio. Kickoff for this game is 3:05 Central Time, so you want to make sure you get that little programming note a little later in the afternoon. 3:05 kickoff. 2 o'clock is when Titans Radio goes on the air with Titans Countdown. We are going to be previewing the matchup for you. And then, of course, kickoff at 3:05 with TZ over here and Coach Mack, who will, by that point, we hope not be too busy for us anymore.
Yeah.
We hope that he is able to be a part of that broadcast, but he might be very busy. Who knows? I mean, it's Mac.
He did tell me a lot about the dinner he's going to on Saturday night. He's got a lot of friends. They have to change restaurants because of how many people are going to the dinner.
Did you get invited to the dinner? You know what? I didn't either.
No, all the Titans Radio people are going to have to make their own plans because Coach Mack has been invited by a different group
His other friends.
His other friends, yes.
His other friends. It should be a great game. There's a lot of things to watch, so definitely be sure to check it out. There's also a watch party for those of you who are going to be back here in Nashville.
Oh, cool.
At, what's the place called? Help. Brooklyn Bowl. There's also a watch party for those of you who are going to be back here in Nashville at Brooklyn Bowl, and that is going to have a special guest appearance by the Bussin' with the Boys crew.
Oh,
Will Compton and Taylor Lewan will be at this watch party. So if you want to check that out or for more information, head on over to TennesseeTitans.com. There's all kinds of stuff there. You can get your tickets. All right, TZ, you ready to head out to Arizona?
Let's do it. Let's go to the desert.
I love
Tighten
it.
up. Let's go.
You guys are going to have a blast, and I will be cheering for you right back here. For Taylor Zarzour, I am Amie Wells, and this has been the OTP.